This is Holly Carmichael. I am the instructor for Chem 130 this summer, and I wanted to take a couple of minutes. I'm going to try and keep it under 15 to go through the syllabus and some of the materials that you're going to need to do this summer. So I am not on campus during the summer. I'm a 10-month employee, but I am available through email, and I really do try to check my email multiple times a day. The shortest email is the one that's listed here, that hcarmichael@nashcc.edu. Going down through, looking at the text, so you do not have to have the physical textbook. If you got the access code from the bookstore, that contains the code that you'll need to be able to access your mastering chemistry assignments, and also that will allow you to access the e-text. Now, if you're somebody that really wants a physical textbook, you can order one from the publisher. I do have a textbook purchasing link in Moodle, and if you want that, please let me know so that I can go ahead and get it to you relatively quick. Big thing in this, and make sure that you kind of keep an eye on your grading aspects. So this course really has 3 different aspects, one of which is the tests. So there are exams. Since this is the summer class, there's 4 exams. They're over 3 chapters apiece, and they're worth 17.5%. So when you add those all up, that's 70% of your grade. But 30% of your grade is actually from assignments that you are responsible for completing. So these really kind of help to balance out. If you have one low test grade, you can balance it out by making sure you do these assignments, but not doing these assignments can really end up affecting whether or not you pass this course. So if you didn't do any assignments and got hundreds on your test, you could get a 70. But just know that these assignments are really to help you, 1, understand the material and do better on the tests, and then 2, they also kind of act as a bit of a buffer in the overall averaging. We're on a 10-point scale, so 89.5 is an A, 79.5 is a B, 69.5 is a C. Anything that's below that, if you're taking this for a major, like for dental hygiene, for vet tech, for nursing, you have to have a 69.5 or higher, or it does not count towards your degree program. So just know that. So I will tell you, this is a summer class. You are going to be covering almost 2 chapters a week. There's 12 chapters in the book. We're splitting them up into those 4 exams. And so you will actually see that over those 8 weeks, you basically have an exam every 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, you have to cover 3 chapters. So to help you, I have set up a couple of things. 1, there is what I call an exam review. And if you look in Moodle, so I'm going to flip to Moodle really quick. Moodle actually has a new look. We've gone to a new version of Moodle. So you will notice maybe a couple of things that are a little different, but it's still, the layout is very similar. So this information about the book, here's the syllabus. This lecture welcome video will be posted here. You won't be able to see anything except these 2 things until you do the enrollment verification. And I highly suggest that you do the verification on May 24th and go ahead and get started on chapter 1. Because if you don't start until May the 30th, you are still going to have your first exam on the 9th of June, and you actually have assignments due on the 28th of May before the enrollment verification activity deadline. So that's not like the time when you need to start things. You need to really try to start them on day 1. Every day you put off doing things is going to be a time that you're just losing opportunity. Okay, so things that I have tried to give you to help. Like I told you, I have posted all of my lecture videos from an on-campus course. So I record my lecture videos, and they're in there. If you are somebody that learns by hearing things, by doing things, by watching things actually be explained instead of just reading from a book, I highly suggest that you look at these lecture videos. So if you click this link, they all are in order. They go through, like for example, chapter 1. They're all roughly about an hour. The first one's only 30 minutes, but they're all roughly about an hour or so long. I even did a math review because I had students that really had to challenge about some of the material in chapter 1 that is math related. Notice then chapter 2 is about 2 hours of lecture, chapter 3 material 4, and these just go straight through, all the way through. If you find that that hearing things and adding information to them is going to help you remember it, learn it, organize it, then by all means, I suggest that you go ahead and watch these. I know that it's an amount of time, but you could also sort of break it up. You could watch the 1 hour blocks, you could watch half-hour blocks, you could just skip through things that you understand and just watch the things that maybe you need help with. Okay, there are some that actually have demonstrations in them that you'll see as well, that I have like recorded some demos, and so maybe that'll help it kind of like stick in your head. That's just what I have found, is that some students find that they're very useful. There is a total of 30 videos in here. So that is one. Here is the print offer. If you want to get the physical textbook, there is a print offer. And again, if you think that you want the physical textbook, that paper version, send me an email and I'll send you the link for this so that you can go ahead and get it. There is the e-text link. Once you have signed in to Mastering Chemistry, you can go directly to this e-text link, and that allows you to go through, read the chapter, answer questions as you're going through the chapter. Now, in each exam module, I have it set up. One, I put the link again. Here's that same playlist link to all the YouTube videos. But I also give you sort of like the steps to do. Things to do: use the text in the lecture videos to cover each chapter. Then 2, there is what is known as one of the graded assignments is this video discussion worksheet. The video discussion worksheet, it's a Word document you download that you answer all of the questions on it, save it, and then you have to upload this before you take your test. My suggestion is for chapter 1, go through the e-text. Read all the material, maybe start making notes about major points in for chapter 1 in the e-text. Anything that you see automatically that might need more work, then you can go ahead, open up this video discussion worksheet, then look at the questions in the video discussion worksheet. Can you answer those just by using the e-text? If you can't, then you can go to those video lectures and watch those. The answers to all the questions in the video discussion worksheet are actually answered in those videos. So you can use either way. I'm trying to give you all the things I can think of that can help you to learn this material, understand it so that you can take your test. Another thing that you might find helpful to organize material is this exam review. You do not turn this in. The exam review is just really sort of a question format to help you ask yourself questions to make sure that you know how to solve problems or topics about theory, whatever is covered in that chapter. Once you get that done, then my suggestion is, then you're going to go to Mastering. So you're going to go to Mastering and you want to do the assignments called Dynamic Study Modules, the assignments for Chapter 1, then complete the post-lecture homework for Chapter 1. Once you get those done, then go on to Chapter 2. Do the exact same thing. Look through the textbook, make notes of things that are in the sections, then go to the video discussion worksheet, answer the questions for Chapter 2. If you have problems answering those questions, you can use the videos as backup as well as the e-text. When you get finished, then do the Dynamic Study module for Chapter 2, and then do what's called the Chapter 2 post-lecture homework. Then go on Chapter 3. So split it up, do each one. If you go through and you would like to have a little more of an outline and to add your notes into, I actually put all of the PowerPoints that correspond to those lecture videos that you can use as well. And so these PowerPoints are not the complete PowerPoints. These PowerPoints, and I'll show you just really quick, these PowerPoints actually have blanks. These are the PowerPoints I use in my lecture video. And so you could, if you can come to campus the entire first week of classes, printing is free in the library. So if you find that this would be more helpful, you can go through, use these because then you can actually add information in. I kind of left things out, and there's some of these PowerPoint slides, I add notes to them. And so if you're watching the lecture video, then you can actually go through and add notes to these as well. So that's my suggestion of things to try and cover the material. You can have the PowerPoints, complete this video discussion worksheet, complete the mastering assignments. Now, when you go to take an exam, so notice here, this exam is not open now. It'll open Friday, July the 9th, and it'll close Monday, June the 12th. So you've got like a 4-day span, and I did this because some students work on the weekends, some students work during the day or during the week. And so this way it falls over both a weekend and weekday times. When you go to take your exam, you are allowed to use your textbook or the e-text. You are allowed to use your PowerPoints. You are allowed to use any type of written notes when you complete the exam. You can use a calculator. There was the periodic table that you can download and use as well. The things that you can't do, you cannot use the internet to search for any answers. You cannot use your phone while taking the exam. You can't use any other websites other than the e-texts and Moodle. So all of those will need to be closed while you take your exam. And you can't have anybody helping you while you take the exam. So you have to do this on your own. So you may not know all those details like by memory, but you actually have the notes so that you can quickly answer 45 questions in 90 minutes. That gives you 2 minutes per question. So for example, if it's a question about unit conversions, so you may have to do the math to figure out the answer. That, as long as you understand how to do it, you should be able to answer those questions easily in those 2 minutes. But if you don't know how to answer the questions, you can't really spend time trying to learn the information. So my suggestion is make sure that you outline the chapters, use that exam review to help you outline the chapter, use the video discussion worksheet as a gauge for how well you're understanding the material, and then also the mastering assignment should help to reinforce the material that you've learned in that chapter. And I would just split it up into do one chapter at a time. Do chapter 1, outline it, answer the video discussion worksheet questions, do the mastering assignments, then go on do chapter 2, follow exact same, then do chapter 3. And then you can look at that exam review and can you answer the questions, kind of like organizing that information. You can have all of that out in front of you when you take the exam. You just cannot use the internet to search for answers. You cannot use your phone. You cannot have any other person help you. So one of the ways that we actually monitor you taking your exam is we use a proctoring system that's called ProctorTrack. So now ProctorTrack, we'll have to bounce back. ProctorTrack is one that you have an assignment in the first week where you need to do what's called the onboarding assignments. And I have them as week 1 activities. So week 1 activity 1, there's a little Padlet name tent activity that you can do to introduce yourself to the class. Then there's the proctoring examples, ProctorTrack instructions. Then you have these 2 assignments. The first one is called the onboarding assignment. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to do. Basically, you just go through the steps, download the instructions, follow the instructions, and to do the onboarding assignment, you need some kind of camera, some way of being able to record yourself as you're taking your exam. Then once the onboarding gets accepted or approved, then you can do the practice quiz. Try and get this done as soon as possible, especially to see if you have any kind of issues, technical issues or whatever, you can go to this support link and contact ProctorTrack directly. If it's something computer related, I really can't fix the problem. But if it's something where you can't see something, then maybe you want to send me an email so that maybe I can help try to figure out what's going on. Most students have used this that have taken online classes have used this already, so it's not completely brand new. But if it's new for you, make sure that you go ahead and get these done. Okay, so I already have your assignments all sort of set up for the semester. I have some of them are not open or available for you to see yet, but they are definitely already here. Once the semester gets rolling, once we go past the time of what we call the EVA, the enrollment verification, once that time goes past, then I will move these links like to your assignments, to the e-text, and then the lecture links, I will put them all the way up at the very top. I just can't put them up until after everybody's done the enrollment verification activity. So please do try to plan on getting a chapter done really about every 4 to 5 days. So I don't know if you're a planner like I am, but the way that I have set up your schedule, here's information more about mastering, information about my exam policy, what you can and cannot do. Attendance, last day to drop without penalty is July 18th. You have to complete those online assignments every week as part of your attendance. If you go 2 weeks without completing those assignments, I have to drop you for non-attendance. So that's from the Department of Education, not from NASH. Academic integrity, you're expected to take your exams independently. You are expected to answer questions in those video discussion worksheets in your own words, okay? So don't copy and paste. If you find what you think is an answer, just write it in your own words because that tells me that you've thought about the information. Going down, there are resources that are out there. I encourage you to read through, to follow this link to some of the student resources at Nash Community College. There are quite a few of them. The last page, very last page, if it's considered like I have things listed as Moodle, Mastering Chemistry, and MDSM, those are the dynamic study modules. I have broken this down into assignments by week, and then I've kind of blocked them out by exam. So by the 30th of May, you've got to get the enrollment verification activity and the proctor track assignments done. But in the meantime, you want to go ahead and start chapter 1. So during the week of 3/24 through 6/8, so you've got a couple of weeks in there, you want to get through chapters 1 through 3. But notice I have set assignments, basically all of your chapter 1 dynamic study module assignments, they are due Sunday the 28th. Then on the 31st, chapter 1's post-lecture assignment and the dynamic study module for past chapter 2 is due. Then Sunday, your post-lecture homework for chapter 2 and the dynamic study modules for chapter 3 are due. This is to kind of keep you on track and get you through the chapters so that when exam 1 opens, you will be finishing up chapter 3 and organization of your material, and that way you'll be ready. Now, as soon as you finish exam 1, then you really want to just go ahead and get started on the next round of chapters. And so again, you can see that I have kind of outlined when things are due to try and keep you on track getting through those chapters. If you don't have an exam, you will have assignments due every Wednesday night and Sunday night. Okay, and then when an exam weekend comes, then you just have that exam and you've got to finish any assignments and the video discussion worksheet and get that submitted before you take your exam. So I kind of had Wednesday, Sunday, all the way through until we get to that July 4th break. There's no assignments, but then notice that we're going to be finishing things up by the 25th of July. So it's a pretty fast summer. I hope that you enjoy it. Please feel free to always send me emails if you need like a specific lecture, or if you have a specific question, or you just want a couple more examples about something, just send me an email. A couple things I can do. I do have a recording option on my tablet to make these types of little videos, and I can do a 5 to 10 minute like tutorial for you to help you work through things if you get stuck. I don't want you to get stuck and stop going through information, so make sure that you send me an email as soon as something like that happens so that I can maybe help you get back on track and keep moving forward. I hope we have a great summer.